Hey guys, I'd like to share a trip story with you guys. I do not condone the use of illegal drugs, and this video is for educational purposes only to help you with safety and harm reduction in the future. So, guys, about 1 month ago, me and 5 friends decided to trip acid, and smoke, etc., and chill at a friend's house because his parents were out. And one of them suggested to get nitrous oxide, and we're all familiar with it. We've all tripped acid before, so it was nothing really new to us. It's just we were having a pretty high dosage that no one's really experienced before. And so we were all taking about 380 UGs, which were scattered on 3 tabs. So our friend got nitrous oxide charges, N2O, cream charges, or whatever, and we had crackers which we twisted with balloons, right? So we've all had a little bit of experience with acid, nitrous, and we had weed too, but let's just leave that there for now. So we all got to our friend's house around 10 to 10:30, and once everyone arrived, we all dropped the tabs at 10:30. So we all dropped 3 tabs all together at the same time. And for the next hour, everything was pretty chill. We had nice music playing. The atmosphere was very chill, relaxing. Everyone was enjoying themselves a lot. And everyone was having a bit of nitrous oxide, and they were enjoying it. And a few people, the stoners or whatever, was smoking weed. And about an hour has passed, and everything was going amazing. The vibe was unreal. Like, we were all enjoying it a lot. Everyone clearly knew they were tripping. Like, it was amazing. Like, everyone just had the best energy. And yeah, so I never really smoked weed before, but there was a joint being passed around, and I've smoked weed a little bit. I didn't really like it, but so I tried it on the acid. I took big puffs and just saw the smoke just blow out, and it looked really beautiful. So I had another one, and it looked really cool. And then, so after I smoked that weed, my visuals got a bit more intense, and I totally forgot that I had the nitrous oxide in my bag at this time. And so I got up and grabbed my bag with the nitrous oxide, and then I opened it up, and yeah. So I was tripping really hard at this stage, and so I didn't know how the cream charges were going to affect me. And yeah, so I grabbed the cream charges, and I put one in the canister, twisted it up, the balloon went shoo. Had a big balloon full of cream charger. If you don't know what a cream charger is, a cream charger is nitrous oxide, N2O, and yeah, it's pretty intense. Like, if you haven't had one, yeah, if you have, you would know. Alright, so yeah, so I have the balloon in my hand, and so I slowly start sucking up. And I just hear womp, 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 womp. Distinctively that sound, womp, womp. And my visual perimeter just went all black. And then I was just sucked into this computer simulation where everything I did, the world that I was in already knew I was going to do it. Like, here's an example. I pulled out my phone from my pocket, like, what time is it? Like, shit, like, and then as soon as I pulled out my phone, this thing just laughed at me, and I'm getting shivers just talking about this now, and it just laughed at me, and then this countdown started to happen, where it went to 1 to 9, and on the 9th one, like, the screen, like, computer screen, it was like a computer simulation, and the computer screen went to 9, and I felt like I got slapped in the face. It's very hard to describe this because I was in such a state, where I don't really know. But after this nang, I literally was sitting on like a chair, maybe about half a meter off the ground, and I collapsed. I fell off the chair because I must have lost consciousness for like 1 to 2 seconds, and I really didn't know what would happen. So like when I got up from having the nang, this was the worst fear I've ever experienced in my life. I felt like everything had no purpose. Like, what am I doing? Like, this is the worst. Like, I was generally, like, I had no in control over anything. I had no in control of my thoughts, my mind, my body. Like, something was controlling me. My vision was nothing what I should have been seeing. I was somewhere else. And so I felt, so it was on a concrete floor, and then I got up, and I just had the worst fear, and I could not tell from what was real or fake, and it looked like everyone was laughing at me, and they were all out to get me. So I stood up immediately, and I'm like, you are all out to get me. And they didn't really know what was happening at the time. And yeah, I knew like they weren't all trying to get me or anything. That was just what my mind was going through at the time. And then I looked one of them in the eyes when I got up, and he told me they were not out to get me, but like my mind put smiles on their faces to make them look evil or whatever. And then as soon as I looked in the eyes and he smiled, that's when I got scared again, and I got sucked back into the mind computer simulation. And this is all the words that I can have to say for it. It was a lot of deja vu and dream-like state, and like it felt like I'd been in that dream in the past, and it had something to do with family, and it was just crazy. And like I think it went like, it was a square, and it was like mind computer simulation. These were the words: time, computer simulation, mind control trap, mind control communication. Just sounded exactly like that. And then so as soon as I looked in my friend's eyes, it started to happen again. 1 went to 1 to 2 to 3, and if it got to 9, that's where I got like slapped in the face and felt like a pain, like a genuine pain. And so I immediately tried to avoid all contact with them, because at this point, like, this was fucked. Like, I thought I was gonna be forever like this, and like I told anyone that came near me trying to help me, like. So I went over, sat on the other chair, and like they came over to me and tried to help me, and I told them, leave me alone. I need to be alone right now. I'll explain later what's happening. And I ran up to the driveway, where I stood there for about 10 minutes, because I ran up there because when I looked them in the eyes, I was getting the worst fear in my life, like the worst fear. Like, this was not human, like anything. Like, it was crazy. And so I ran up to the driveway, and it was really hard running up that driveway, because when I fell off the chair, my hip was badly damaged. And that's why it was so strange, because my hip was so bad, it felt like I couldn't run if I needed to, and something was going to get me too. Like, I just had the worst anxiety at the time. I ran up to the driveway, where I stood for about 10 minutes, and at the top of the driveway there was a tree, right? And the tree had faces in it talking to me like, don't do acid, like all the worst possible things that something could say to you right now. It was just happening. And like, I was so close to calling my mum and like being, can you pick me up and take me to like a mental institution? And I was thinking, like, I'm just gonna preach that like LSD is bad and you should not do it, like, for the rest of my life, because I would have no other opportunities in my life, because I really thought I was going to be in this forever. And so at this, like, the visuals were 10 times it was before, and it all happened from this nang. And I'm not saying it was just the nang that did it, but it definitely brought it on. And so at this time I was at the top of the driveway and I was looking at my phone on Snapchat, which Snapchat kind of made me feel away from what was happening right now. It felt like a sense of normal, which I'd normally do. And I felt like I needed to leave this environment at the moment because I was researching at the time on top of the driveway what to do. It said like leave this environment, so I was like I need to leave. My most comfortable environment would be my home right now. So I texted my friend in the house that I was most comfortable with to get my shit, and then he offered to take me to the station, which he was nice enough to do. It was about a 20-minute walk to the station. I'd get a train home to my house. But luckily on the train I was starting to get better, and like really better. Like the cops walked past me and checked my Opal card, which I did tap on, and I could interact with them fine. I'm like, I'm fine, like everything's fine. And I'd just tell him like this is crazy, like this is like mental. And so we called the train. I was meant to get off at my stop, but I felt comfortable, so I went to the beach. I didn't want to waste any time in my day, so I went to the beach. Like, not a beach where people would be at. I went to a beach where it was secluded, no one else was there, just watching the waves come through, and it was really surreal. I saw the swells come both through and crash the waves, and I really enjoyed that, and it made me feel very relaxed. And surprisingly enough, I felt comfortable enough to go back and go back to the place that this all happened. And after that, I was just really confused that whole night. I had nangs left over. I didn't touch them because I was so traumatized from what happened. And it was really crazy. That whole night, I would just say, acid's bad, don't do acid. Acid's bad, don't do acid, to everyone. I just kept repeating it. And I was just so confused. I fell asleep that night. And I woke up and I'm like, what just happened? Like, I need to tell people about this. I need to know more. I'm so puzzled about how this happened, because when I was seriously, like, it was so real, like, what place I was in, like, it was nothing, like, it was crazy, like, I was seriously, my vision was a computer, and, like, it was crazy. So if any of you have had an experience kind of like this, or can relate to this anyway, I would really enjoy a comment at the bottom of this video. It would really make me feel a lot better about my experience. Like at the time, like the day after or whatever, I said I'd never touch LSD or like drugs again. But like I'm thinking about it and I really don't know what to do. Like, should I experience this again? Like, I don't know, I feel comfortable now. Like, if that happened again, I'd know how to handle myself. But yeah, so I'd love any input into the comments or any help about this would be excellent. And thanks.